And what's up? We're live. And I don't know what happened to Chewy's video right as soon as we go live. Of course, all his videos pop off. That's of course, of course. God damn it. Oh yeah, of course. We could still hear you. Oh man.
Over here with everybody in spirit. Can you guys hear me in your hearts?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Look
We
right
can hear you.
beyond. Yeah.
I had all
Got
I had
you.
We're
everything
out
all
here.
messed up. Your video was messed up. The audio was on mute. Everything. It's just the worst jump start we could have imagined. And you know what's funny? Is I spent like maybe an hour and a half like practicing my rundown to how to start it earlier today.
Yeah.
Like literally just starting with like the starting soon video to the intro video to the fade into where it's just because right now it's just the three of us. So the
But
three
that's the
of us.
very reason you were going to forget something.
Yeah,
Because
probably
you were
right.
It
just
all started
eventually
with
going to
that
forget
jersey,
something.
man.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's
You're
no
right.
accident.
Yeah, and you didn't. Did you make a list?
A list
If
of
you-
what of things I fucked up already? No,
yeah,
not
yeah,
yet.
Of
yeah,
all the
yeah,
things that could possibly go wrong.
Not no, not yet. Not yet.
yeah. Oh,
I didn't
man.
get there yet.
All right. We
So
definitely need a scribe. Oh, anyways, I got the Jack here with me. Jack's here.
The
There we
fourth member
go.
of the
Oh, it
pod.
says hers too on it.
Jack Daniels.
that makes sense. That
Damn.
actually makes sense somehow. I don't know. I don't know. Somehow that makes sense. But
Oh God, that's
so
it's got more bite
basically
than I used to.
tonight was episode what 5 and 6 of The Last Dance. What are some of you guys' initial reactions?
Initial reactions? Well, first of all, I haven't even got to episode 6. I just started and I'm maybe like 30 minutes in to episode 1. So I'll let you guys take that from here. But I grew up, I watched Jordan, so I think I have some things to say anyway. So whatever. I didn't watch his whole career, but you guys know what I mean. So yeah, so take away with it, Oscar.
Yeah, man. I was kind of young for it all too to see it live, but I'm kind of still reeling from Rodman's Vegas vacation from the last episode, man. Why why aren't more people still talking about that? Why is that like the one thing about the Bulls run that I forgot was the run that that Rodman had on the Strip in the middle of the season? Guys,
Whoa, what
Alexa,
happened? What happened?
motorcycles. It was
He was gone for like 80 hours, dog. He dipped out.
When they came to play the Lake Show or what?
debaucherous. No, see that's the thing. Like I don't understand why we know all the Jordan like stories, but yeah, dude, like Rodman took a vacation in the middle of the season. He convinced Phil to like let him go for 48 hours, and Jordan's like, "Yo, Phil, we're not gonna get this dude. We let him go to Vegas. We're not gonna get this dude back in no 48 hours." And sure enough, man, he was gone for like 80, 90 hours, or something like that. It's just,
Oh, that's
I
classic.
talked to my uncle about it too, and he goes, yeah, he goes, I remember people like asking, "Where's Rodman? Where's Rodman?" You know, and did you see him at night? His best relaxation, I think, was you see him on TV at night, right? Just riding motorcycles to Vegas and drinking it up. But man, these latest episodes, man, I don't know, dude. They're replaying it right now, which is great. But shoot, I was what my biggest takeaway was seeing him in those finals. It was like nobody. I don't know. Nobody could take it to another level like that. It's something that he had. See, like like notoriously, he never went to Game 7, right? He took control and he said, I'm packing one suit. We're not gonna lose, and they never lost, right? Like I've never seen somebody be like have that much control over their own destiny. It's crazy. He wasn't just like battling Patrick Ewing out there and John Starks. He was like battling the forces of nature. He was like a Jedi. Do we have a poll up on this thing? Can we put it up? Is Michael Jordan a Jedi?
No, he's like, but I get it. Like you're seeing someone that's just manipulating reality. And they're just like, oh, I got this shit figured out. Like this is winning. This is winning always. Not on the court, not here, everywhere. Everywhere. Just winning.
Driving to the lane against Ewing, watching Charles Barkley, man, like I'm glad we're getting some tape. Like younger cats are getting to see some tape on Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley.
Huh? Because all they
Oh,
ever
Charles
see
Barkley
him
was
is
sick.
TNT.
Yeah.
That's all they ever see.
Yeah, big.
Bro, there was a gang of people that wanted the Barclays when they came out, and those are some biscuits to me. But people wanted the Barclays, man. Yeah, Barkley was hard, man.
Biscuits.
Yeah, they still are, but I seen them come back for like a year or two. You know, it gets popular. You know, some throwbacks, but
Phoenix Charles Barkley jersey when I was like 9.
The
hey,
first,
those jerseys were sick though. Those are nice. I like.
hey,
I like
the
those.
first NBA game I ever went to was it was Lakers versus Phoenix, and it was Magic's last year with the Lakers. So I got to see Magic versus Barkley, like like the first Lakers game I ever went to. So that shit was
That's
pretty
actually pretty
that shit was
crazy. I
pretty
did not
tight.
know that.
dope. Yeah, that shit was pretty
No,
tight.
no. My first Laker game was it was at the Forum. It was against the Mavericks. I think
God damn it.
Jamal Washburn or some shit was on the Mavs or something. It was trash. It was the worst game ever. But this is like Eddie Jones. This is Nick Van Exel. We still had Vladi. It was crazy. It was funny. It was some funny but good Laker times, even though we were kind of losing. I like how the documentary already starts talking about the Lakers right off the top. Jordan talking about the Lakers, just like, oh man, I don't know.
Well, they had a Kobe scene in this latest episode. I don't know if you got that little.
In the
The
beginning,
the meme's already going on.
yeah.
But yeah, in the beginning, it was great, man. Just brought a little tear to your eye.
No, yeah, I saw that little screenshot that you sent. It was perfect. It was perfect,
Yeah,
but it
I
makes
don't want to
sense.
ruin everything for you. You gotta cram that in, man. It's great. I didn't know I needed it. I didn't know how bad I needed this documentary.
Right now,
like, I just
especially.
watched
Right now, like, oh my
yeah.
God, that shit hit perfect. And I remember when they first announced it, like, last year, and I was like, oh man, I gotta wait forever for that shit to come out. And then now it's like out, like, right
Well,
on time.
Let
Perfect.
me tell you something that's controversial, and it's always been controversial, but right now it's more controversial than ever to say. But of course, like all those many that kind of like we didn't even get to see prime Jordan. I got to see the end of Jordan, but like that saw Jordan, like it was no question. And I'm a hardcore like Laker fan, at least I think so. I'm a Kobe fan, even though he wasn't my guy. I was more of a Shaq guy. Like Michael Jordan was always number one over Kobe to me, straight up. That shit was always just kind of like a dumb argument, really.
Yeah, you guys
Always.
are just a little bit older than me, so I didn't get to really see a lot of Jordan. Man, honestly, my first Jordan memory is probably Space Jam. To be completely honest,
That was still pretty sick, though, actually.
I was like 8, I think, when Space Jam came out.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So,
But, I mean, that's not that far off. But in basketball years and, like,
My
the way
first Jordan
someone's
memory, though,
balling, yeah, it's
probably
definitely different.
is. Oh, man. I would probably say the All-Star game with not the All-Star game, the Olympics. I'm tripping. The Olympics. I would say that's probably like my first, because that's when I first really started getting into basketball. Was that year, like 92, 91, 92, 93. But yeah, I would probably say the Olympics would be the first for me. After
That's
that,
funny.
I mean, that's all it was the 90 in the 90s was MJ. That's
yeah,
it.
man, that was the culture, right? That was
That's it.
No,
That's
MJ was the hottest thing out there. It was different. Like even like when Kobe finally caught on with the public, it was still different. Like not everybody like there was a lot more Kobe haters than there was like with Jordan. Everybody loved Jordan. It was just like yeah, Jordan's hard. Jordan,
Yeah, man,
Jordan's
like-
the sickest thing out there.
I knew about his greatness, how could you not? Like I said, Jordan was the culture, but like I said, I was just young. I was still worried about getting my Power Ranger on, than basketball at the time. But I mean, so I do remember also though. I did see Jordan play. Like I remember it might have been during this run, this last dance run. I was in the warehouse at my mom's work, on the like watching on a small TV, the small staticky TV, one of these finals games, and like calling the game over like a walkie-talkie to the security guards outside that had money on it. So like I was just calling, Jordan hit a three, a three. It's calling the score. What was it, 8, 9? What do I know? I didn't even understand anything about kickbacks at the time, though. I could have probably came up.
But that's just a crazy memory. Just like now we can watch a Jordan documentary on my phone right now. But you're over there on a tiny TV. I know exactly the TV you're talking about that comes with a built-in speaker. And it's just kind of like it's blurry as hell if you don't catch it right. It's like an old FM radio, like a dial almost. Yeah, those are
DVD player in them. What y'all know about those though?
Oh, that's that mute there.
That shit was bulky too, bro. Like you need to have some like heavy dressers, or else it would concave in.
And I used to be able to buy that shit at like Ralph's or some shit. It was always something dumb. Like you buy it at a weird place.
Anyway, you can cop one of those at Rite Aid.
Oh,
Radio Shack.
Hey, you know what I noticed?
Oh, Radio Shack had them, yeah. Radio Shack had some crazy.
You know what I noticed
from
episode 5 was when they interviewed Justin Timberlake about the when they were talking about the Jays, and they're interviewing everybody and getting like their perspective on the shoes, and then they go to interview Justin Timberlake, and this motherfucker got a PSG hat on and shit. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, fucking Jordan brand, man. Like, they're going to put fucking PSG on the map. That's why it's so great that Liverpool signed with Nike, to be honest. Because we're going to be on that level, too. Because all you're going to see is... Bro, I just can't wait to see Bron just rocking Liverpool shit all the time and just putting everybody on. Like what's happening?
Oh, man. To me, that's good and that's bad, though, too.
Nah, but we need that money, bro. We need that bread. I hate it, but
we do need that money.
We need them chippers.
We do need that money, because...
Timo Werner ain't cheap, man.
Actually,
we just can't compete with Arab money. You know what I mean? Like, any of the Emirates-owned teams, like,
That's
come
true.
on.
That's very true.
It's unfair. Yeah. But it is what it is. So, no, we just need that. And you already know the Spanish money runs the same. You know what I mean? That's royal money right there. Right. Running that whole league. I don't even know when they're coming back, though. That's crazy. They sound like they're pretty much done.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The state of soccer. Right? I mean, well, the state of soccer is just all screwed up right now.
Of any sport, really. What sport is right yet?
Baseball in South Korea. Baseball in South Korea starting back up this week.
Yeah, the state of everything's a little jacked up, except Korean baseball. We should all take this time to see what they're doing. Well, they're doing it right. We'll see.
It's Korea's favorite pastime. What are you talking about?
Baseball, right? Korea's favorite pastime, baseball.
Yeah, so they're going to die for that shit. They push Taekwondo to number 2, and they're like, we will die for this shit. Fuck
for
that.
Baseball.
For baseball, yeah.
Don't they have like kooky like rules, right? They can't have. They're not. It's not the same game we're watching. They're not sitting through 3.5, 4-hour baseball games. There's no way.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
Who knows? I never even thought about what Korean baseball means. It could mean anything.
Yeah.
What if Korean baseball was just like rock, paper, scissors competition, and they just called it Korean baseball? And you're just like, oh my god.
In the outfield, going on?
Man, what about Adidas dropping the ball on Michael Jordan too? Damn, Jordan, Bron, Kobe.
Yeah.
They could have had the trio. They could have had the Mount Rushmore of greatness. That's crazy. Nah. I was reading a thing though that said that
they already were owning the European market though. That's why.
At the time, what happened is that just before Michael came into the league, the founder of Adidas, he died, and the company was like left to his wife. So his wife started running the company, and it was divided up into a bunch of different divisions, and every division was like one of the original founders' kids running it, or their husbands or whatever running it. So there was all kinds of internal conflict at the time, and they couldn't gather up the bread to do it. And not only that, they had a lower offer to begin with anyway. They came at MJ with 100K, and Nike came at him with 500K and his own shoe line. So
Listen, having the whole family in the same business is already a bad idea.
oh
It's
man, come
already a
on,
bad
man,
idea.
so
I
bad.
I'd
mean,
love to see.
bus family.
Yeah, that did get a little. That did get a little murky there for a while.
Oh
I would love to
man,
see those. I
I'm
wonder
still
if they take down
suspicious. I'm still suspicious.
those
But yeah,
Jordan Adidas concept shoes. That would be great. Right, some red and white black Adidas. What would those J's look like? Those Adidas J's. Some uncomfortable. Yeah,
honestly,
that's what we
honestly,
need,
they'd probably be ugly. They'd probably be ugly, to be honest,
I would love
because
to see some Sambas, but you can't ball them those.
no, yeah, don't get me wrong. Adidas has nice shoes, but it'd be asking like the Vans to make a basketball shoe. It's like, man, nah, that should be whack. Adidas just on some things it goes hard enough to make them look cool, and on some things it just looks whack. Whereas Nike's just a consistent. You kind of know what you're gonna get with Nike. It's just a little bit like I guess it's a little bit more hip, a little bit more refreshed in that way. I don't mean hip like in a hipster way. I just mean like modern. You know?
Got for Under Armour, man.
Yeah. Well, Under Armour's pretty sick. I love Under Armour too. I only wear
They're like
Under Armour
reasonable.
socks if I can. Under Armour
Okay.
came out of nowhere is awesome. Yeah, yeah. No, because Under Armour socks are like how Nike tries to make shoes, I feel. Like they have all the right padding and the way they grip your feet and everything. It's weird. I could just walk in these motherfuckers everywhere. Like if they could make it through rain, I'd probably rock them. And like the rain, I'd just be like, man, where are your shoes? Be like, what you talking about?
You got those little webs.
Those are my shoes. Nah, no webbed feet. I want them to look like socks. I want people to think they're socks. And I'd be like, those aren't my shoes. They'd be like, what? Like you got webbed feet. You got webbed feet. Hey, man. Like, and then I'll just sue them for being insensitive. Like they said I had webbed feet because I was wearing these specialized sock shoes. So I'm suing them because that's the kind of world it is now. So fuck it. I hate it for that reason, but I'm gonna get some of that, soft people money. Give me that soft people money, god damn it. Because I didn't get none of that Trump money, man. I'm still mad. Anyway.
You didn't get that Trump letter? Yeah, that's a whole nother.
Nah, man, I didn't get no Trump money.
Well, if you did have web feet, though, you'd probably be a great swimmer.
No, hell yeah, I'd use them for something. I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna have to Michael Phelps. Here
You
I
use your
go.
powers good? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd do something crazy, or I'd be in movies or some shit.
There
What
you
is
go.
that? Trump
A
sent
Trump
you a
letter.
letter? What the
Yeah.
hell does that shit say? Does that
sort
shit
of.
say "Make America Great Again"?
Cashed out, homie.
You gotta "Make America Great Again" letter. That's crazy.
Cashed out.
Do your taxes, ladies and gentlemen. You get cashed out, too.
Don't pay your taxes.
Damn.
Nah, hey, but for real though, taxation is theft. But yeah, I'll let y'all get back to that little bit of a discussion there while I slide this somewhere else.
Well, I was just gonna say that's reverse value. Yeah, but
Let me hold.
isn't it all?
You got 1,200 of them. Let me hold one. What you gonna do with all them dollars?
Man, how do you think we're running this live stream right now?
Sponsored by that Trump money.
See that green light right here that runs along the side right there? That's a graphics card that Trump paid for. So appreciate
Oh,
it.
no.
You better
That's
appreciate
it.
your president. Oh man,
I'm
that's
saying.
funny. All right, man. So
5% me, but
did you well, since you didn't really watch it, Chewy, Oscar, did you notice anything that might have caught you off guard that you didn't think about like beforehand or just didn't know before the documentary came out?
well, I don't. Maybe important is the wrong word, but it was like good to see Jordan lose. You know, like these cats on Twitter will have you believe that he never won a game. You know, but showing that Jordan is in fact infallible. You know what I'm saying? That he did lose. You know how he struggled, how he actually struggled. It was good to see that because, like, again, I was young, man. I was young for the run. You know, that was good to see.
I think one thing that I like about that was like before Michael won his first championship, he was just like they said, he was just known as the guy that put on a show. Like that's it. You come to the game, you're gonna have a good time. They may or may not win. It is what it is, but he's gonna put on a show, and you're gonna leave like you got your money's worth regardless, right?
Yeah.
But
No,
it
that's why
wasn't
it's
until
weird
he
that it's like a
won.
Kobe.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't until he actually won that they actually really were like, okay, well, this that dude. And then to top it off, like to me, I feel like Michael Jordan's entire career literally was like a fairy tale, like a storybook. You know what I mean? Like in order to get his first championship, he had to get over the hump of beating the Pistons, right? Just to get out of the East. Then he finally does that, and then his first championship. He's got to beat Magic Johnson and the Lakers. Like you know what I mean? Like that's the
Yeah.
most
Showtime.
like that's the best definition I could say I could see of fuck passing the torch. That's taking the torch and running with that shit. Like he set the standard for how to go on a run in the NBA. And if you look at it ever since, pretty much every team has had that same every championship team since then, except maybe the Pistons when they beat the Lakers that random off year,
Yeah.
has gone on to win multiple championships, right? Like, well, I guess Cleveland only won one too, right? But
And the Spurs don't win in
Well, they
succession,
follow
but they
LeBron.
but
right.
but they do, but they are kind of very dynasty, I guess. They're just the Spurs. Fuck the
Yeah,
Spurs,
I mean,
man.
and the
Every
thing,
once in a while, you get that one, right? Those Pistons or those Mavs.
right? So
Oh
it is
yeah,
what
those
it is.
that
Yeah,
Mavs
I
one
forget
was
about the
kind of weird
Mavs too.
too.
Yeah, I forget
Yeah,
about the
that
Mavs.
was weird.
But
You
you
That
know,
know,
was weird.
but all the dynasties, I mean, like they had to overcome some crazy shit to get there. For the Lakers, they just were at the right time,
No,
right?
and they all have the player that you just described too. Like
Celtics only
Kobe
got one
too.
too in that frame. That's what's
Okay,
crazy
but
too.
look, Kobe too. He was really good right off the bat, but he was annoyingly good. He was just show. Yeah, I mean, he was. I remember one guy just calling him Shoby. Hey, that's Shoby Bryant. Like always trying to put on a show, but never winning games. You know what I mean? It was all about Shaq. Whatever.
a little Laker boy. You mean that little Laker boy?
Yeah, man, come on. So, and then there was like Steph Curry. Steph Curry was basic for like 5 straight years, man, and then just caught. You know what I mean? And he was also injury prone. You know what I mean? There's that too. Everybody kind of has that. Braun came out hot, but he couldn't win that title. It took him forever to kind of win
It
a
was good
title
to see.
in that
It was good to
sense.
see
You know
Jordan,
what I mean?
like, get his bones. You know what I'm saying? Go through that. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, he was human. Yeah. People forget. Yeah, there was some
Exactly.
games where he was just
Exactly.
kind of
Like,
whatever.
it,
I remember
Yeah.
when I was young, not even understanding, when I still didn't even understand basketball stats really, because I got into football first. Like I could understand any football stat real early. Like when I was just about the age of my son, which is about 8 years old, like I knew that a 50-yard punt was even a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, wow. But I didn't know basketball as much. I remember I was already trading a lot of baseball cards and basketball and football. Like it didn't matter. Even sports I didn't watch, which like for instance hockey. I had hockey cards and shit. So I remember I forget what year it was, but I finally got a Michael Jordan. It was hard to get one at this point. It was already too late. And I finally got a Michael Jordan. I just remember looking at the back of it, and it said that he averaged 40 points a game that year, whatever year that was. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even understand what that really meant. I was like, I know that's good, but how good? Like,
Bro, he
what's
was
the
averaging
average?
41 in
Like,
the finals.
what's the average of another star player? That's what it made me start thinking. And I was like, I need to figure that out. And once I realized what that was back then in the 90s, I was like, holy shit. Your boy was averaging 40 points a game. What? What?
Yeah,
But
he's
but
on
it
another level.
but it's still an average. You always got to remember that. That's how difficult sports is. Still an average. There's games where he only maybe made 15 points. You know what I'm saying? But then he went off for 60 in another game. You know what I mean? Like it.
Yeah, we're always talking about how like
It's tricky
LeBron's
like that.
chasing Jordan's ghost, and yeah, man, we've gotten to a point where like Jordan's legacy is bigger than Jordan himself. You know, the brand the stories are bigger than Jordan himself. It's good to see this and realize shit, man.
It's
Like
humbling for sure. I
that he
bet.
broke his leg. You know, like he had to
Yeah.
come back from that.
He
He had to
came
get his
back
ass
from
kicked
that
by
and
Don Sally and them
torched
boys.
the
You know.
Celtics in the Garden. That shit was
I mean, that's
nuts. I mean,
wild,
they
bro.
lost that game, which sucks too. But damn, he fucking came back and dropped what 63 in the Garden. Come on, man.
They were showing that footage, right, of like Larry and Ainge and everybody just like, woof, just
Yeah, just like shook, homie. Like even even after with after when Larry
That's funny.
Bird was like that wasn't Michael Jordan. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. Like straight up, like they
and
knew
they
it.
knew, man.
They
Knew.
knew
Like,
right
they
then and there.
need to
It's
hurry up
over.
and get these tips now because this dude's coming.
They're like,
He's
let
coming.
this dude
And you
get a
can see
team
it.
and see what happens. Like,
You see it building. That video from North Carolina, right? James was like, oh, he was better than me for about 2 weeks.
yeah, for about
And he
2
worked.
weeks.
He worked, and he you know, he wasn't just that athleticism. He was just like a freak, you know. But he did work, man. He did work, and it shows you that he worked, grinded.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see that. Like, you know, he wasn't taking no rest days.
That's
you know?
funny.
Well, if you're able to keep it real with yourself, you're willing to get better no matter what. Like if you know there's always one or two people just a step above you, even though there's hundreds or there could be thousands, obviously. But if you're all constantly thinking that way, then you're always taking that step forward to be like, hell no, I can't be number 1,000, bro.
They got two
Like,
presidents in this documentary.
That's wild.
Barack and Bill.
Yeah.
Right? They got them first talking about Scotty.
Well, because Barack's from Chi-Town, but Bill's just, Bill, man, the first black president. That's the two black presidents right there. That's how they had him. They're like, these cats know about balling.
Oh, man.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. You guys watch any good movies in COVID times? Is this the Quarantine Chronicles?
You know what? Honestly, I've just been watching like a lot of horror films. And not good ones, to be honest, at all.
A lot of horror films aren't that good
at all. But I'm entertained
honestly,
by that kind of shit. So it is what it is, you know. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it anyway. I am entertained.
The odds.
You know. Oh, you're not entertained?
Before this thing blew up, I saw Red Dawn. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie.
The old one or the new one?
The old.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Wolverine!
Shit! Yeah, the old one's a classic, bro.
The cast is crazy though. The cast is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's so bad. They got fake Cuban, Nicaraguan communists.
It's a B movie, bro. It's a B movie. It's expected.
No. But it's like Nate was talking about. It's one of those bad movies that's just a classic. Like, oh yes, the original one.
For me,
it's Dude, the main character in Starship Troopers was supposedly from Argentina. Homeboy, dog, he was speaking some super nice English, and he was like super. Like, come on, dog, nah.
Another Jewish guy.
He had no Argentine flavor. I'm sorry, he had no Manu Ginobili.
But you know what? I've been watching TV shows and shit. That's really what I've been watching, more so than anything. Like I've been watching that Sunderland Till I Die. Dude, that shit is so depressing. It's like worse than just being locked down and doing nothing and staring at the wall. Like, it's like, fuck, dude, it's so sad. Like, but man,
what is that shit about?
It's just about Sunderland. Like, it's a Netflix documentary about Sunderland. That's it. Like,
I thought you were gonna say
about the team and
Day
shit.
Fiance or some shit.
No. It's about the team. I just started the first season. I think there's 2 or 3 seasons of it already.
Did you ever watch that
2 seasons.
Juventus one? That Juve one?
That Juventus? That Juve? Nah.
They had one. I forget what that one was called. Netflix had a series on the Juve team. But I'm disappointed to hear that Sunderland one is depressing because I'm not even trying to.
I mean, think about it, dude. It's a team that has fallen from the Premier League to League One in 2 seasons, bro. Like, literally just went boop, boop, boop. Like, okay, bye.
Nah, as a fan, like that's pretty shitty. Yeah,
Right.
that's
And
pretty
then
shitty, especially if you live in the town and shit. Like, come on, man.
right. And then so that's what
That's
it
your whole
is.
town's economy too.
Exactly. And then
Why did
that's a
Fulham
lot.
say no or what?
Fulham couldn't afford it.
They should
'Cause
have, man. I wish they would have
were like,
done
we're
one
gonna
for
have to use your
Newcastle.
electricity to run the cameras. They're like, oh, we're out.
I wish they would have had done one for
We're running
Newcastle
candles.
because they're going through their shit too, and then now they're about to come up.
Newcastle,
Like,
but
man.
Newcastle's like when Liverpool was down. Like Newcastle will be back. Like a Newcastle team will be back. Newcastle's just a classic like that. That's just a classic squad. That's not like a Sunderland. Sunderland's probably won one championship in like 1946 or some shit. When you know what I mean? When they were just
Like
handing out ribbons.
1846.
Yeah, you got ribbons and a fridge magnet for being the champion and shit. Like,
Bitch magnet.
like people that do
Yes, they
like,
won. They're still celebrating they won from 100 years ago, 120 years ago.
I would have just At this point, if I was a legend, I would have just dipped that fridge magnet in gold and just rocked it as a chain. Been like, hey.
You know what else I watched too on Netflix? Now I think about it, on Oscar's recommendation was the English Game. Dude, that shit was
Okay.
dope. That shit was actually
Like-
dope.
What's
Oh,
the
yeah.
Oh, that was dope.
What's that one? Like a documentary?
Nah, it's like a like a TV show, but it's about it's a period drama basically, but it's about like the beginning of the English Football League system.
Oh shit, for
Yeah,
real? They
yeah.
got a show like that?
Yeah,
Oh
It's
shit.
pretty good, dude. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
dope. It's
I
pretty
took the
dope.
book that I left at your place.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
that one's about. It's
Yeah, yeah.
basically the
It
football
probably-
history.
It probably
It
probably that
talks
sort.
about them like getting into battles with the Scots and stuff like that. Does the TV show talk about
Well,
that? or
it
no?
talks about
This is
how
specifically about like the FA Cup.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how the game kind of turned into from an amateur sport to what we know to be.
But how it happened was exactly by what Chewy was talking about was Scots. Like that's what
Yeah.
the show's about. Two Scots
They're-
that come over and they get paid to play, and it starts this whole thing of like, should
Yeah,
we
because
pay
they were
players?
trying to battle in the beginning.
NCAA
What
shit.
was the real FA? Who was the true FA?
It's
Was
the
it the
NCAA.
English football or was it the Scottish football?
yeah, these
You know what I mean?
amateur college clubs, right?
Yeah.
Rich man's game.
And they were just battling. And the history goes, nobody knows if it's legit true or the way that it was written in the rules. But like the English teams would just be bigger dudes, so they would just like they wouldn't play as fair. So it forced them to make rules and shit, because it was basically almost like rugby, but nobody could touch the ball with their hands.
Yeah, they were talking a lot about the rules.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like just like some crazy
It's so,
shit.
it's so worth like investing in just to get to the end.
Oh no, I'll watch it. I'll watch it, especially since I've read books like it. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say it makes it more exciting because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've read a book like that. Like that. That sounds familiar. Yeah.
It's shorter than that. Yeah, it's good.
That's awesome. I can't wait to watch that actually. Goddamn. Thank you guys. That was a nice one. That was a Corona tip of the week. Who's got the drummer at their house today?
That's a good one right there. Other than that, I mean, I guess same shit that everybody else and their mama's watching. Tiger King, fucking Last Dance.
Right.
Pretty much, you know.
Okay, what are good places that you guys have ordered out from? Food-wise.
Since I've been locked down,
Or just straight home cooking?
I've ordered Pollo Inca probably 6 times since I've been locked down, to be honest. And I live right. I mean, I'm
Peruvian
like
food is good.
right down the street from it. But you know what's funny is I order from the one in Manhattan Beach, not the one right here and shit, because I don't know.
What's that about?
There's more Peruvians working at the one in Manhattan Beach. It's more authentic.
To be honest, there's more selections on the Manhattan Beach menu for Postmates than there are for the Gardena one. And what I want
Well, that
most
makes
of the
sense.
time, yeah. So
That makes sense.
it is what it is. But yeah.
I just ordered some Thai today. I had like the best spicy beef salad. It was glorious. It's like cilantro and cucumber and onions and like just lemon juice. This is great. It's great.
That description was glorious. That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just if you're gonna order some food, order directly from the restaurants. Support your local businesses. Nate, at least I hope you're ordering Pollo Inca directly from the Manhattan Beach, directly from them, not from like Postmates or Uber. Oh, see, there you go. You're
See, look, look
you're
at it from
you're
my
anti
perspective.
small business. I
No,
can't.
no, oh, no, 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 because I'm
Oh
gonna correct
shit.
that
I'm about
right
to
now.
slap your
I'm gonna
running
Oh,
correct
mouth.
let's
that
talk
right
about
now.
this. Okay,
Because
okay.
look,
This
if I
just got
order
interesting.
if I order Manhattan Beach one or any of them, they don't hire drivers to deliver their food. So no matter what, you're gonna have to go through a Postmates, a Grubhub, or Uber Eats to get your food delivered. And why not do Postmates? I mean, I when I didn't have a job, I drove Postmates, so I know that get down. So I had no problem going to Postmates, getting a driver some money. Especially, I tipped them very well because I know how fucked up this situation is, and since I'm home, I'm not spending any money, so I got extra money to tip them anyway. So if anything, I'm hooking everybody up. I'm hooking the restaurant up. I'm hooking Postmates up. I'm hooking the Postmates driver up. I'm hooking myself up because the food is bomb. So, I mean,
Damn,
everybody's
boy.
winning. Everybody wins, just like this guy.
What is this? Just dropping COVID knowledge? Is this COVID knowledge?
Don't lie.
Everybody got to
Oh,
Tell
eat.
man.
me,
Everybody got
tell
to
me,
eat.
everybody got to eat. Tell me you stuck your hand in somebody's bag and took some fries. Man. Don't lie.
Nah, nah, nah.
Uh,
Actually,
you didn't just peek in the bag. You didn't just peek in the bag.
most of the time when you pick up shit, like they staple the bag closed or they put a sticker that kind of closes the bag or whatever. And if it's in a plastic bag and they tie it, I'm not gonna fucking sit there and untie it and retie it. I don't give a fuck about it that much. I wasn't tripping. It was cool because like one cool thing about Postmates was like, okay, I just delivered your food. I get paid for the delivery, and then if you give me a tip, then cool, I get a tip. It goes into like my little account on Postmates, but I can instantly transfer it to my bank account. So if I need the bread, I could just go deliver some food real quick, then instantly, get the cash, instantly transfer to my bank account, and I'm good to go. That's one thing I did like about that, though, for reals. It was cool.
I was like, we need a sponsor right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Instant
Mm-hmm.
gratification, sponsored by Postmates. That's your dose, baby.
I've been using more delivery weed service than the Postmates.
See, that I haven't been doing. I've been going to the weed shop and buying weed because it makes more sense financially.
You've been taking your you've been taking your mask to the shop.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't think they'll let you in without it now.
you gotta
I
pull it
remember
down.
Oh no,
like
yeah, you gotta wear it.
I remember
I
initially
went to
when
one last week, and the sign said, "If you're not rocking one, just peace."
yeah, I remember initially when I first went in, like everybody was rocking a mask. I got a mask on, gloves on. The people behind got mask on, gloves on. And there was just like one person that came in, no mask, no gloves. Everybody's just looking at him like.
I was that dude at the grocery store
But
like a
look,
few weeks ago.
3 months ago, you would have saw a person with a mask and a glove, and he would have been able the one that everybody would have looked at like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, times done changed. That's for sure.
It's the
Times
Twilight
have
Zone.
changed.
Yeah, well, these delivery services have been pretty convenient, man. Like I got into them because I got tired of buying like fake cartridges. You know, I was
Yeah.
like so naive. I didn't even like think that people would make fake cartridges. It turns
Oh
out I was
man,
buying them all
it's
the time.
big. That's like the
Yeah,
biggest thing in the game because it's easier to make fake cartridges than it is to just grow weed.
Mm-hmm.
So easy. Because
so
they could
yeah,
just buy a bunch of fucked up weed, like the shittiest weed that they can find, and all they got to do is run it through the distillery. Because, like, if you think about it,
yeah,
all of that shit is made with THC. It doesn't matter where the THC comes from. I mean, on a technical level, it could come from any strain, any plant, right? Like any cannabis plant. So, yeah, that shit is really bad. That shit's
yeah.
really
A lot of
bad.
these guys are just buying these fake cartridges from China and like just on the
Hmm.
internet. You can just get them yourself
Yeah.
and just sell them like that. So yeah, I was looking for like
Oh, that's that dead
legit
bat
product,
juice. That's that dead
Yeah.
bat juice.
awful, pretty bad.
Oh my god.
So anything with that blue check mark, legitimate retailer, I'm looking for, and they got some good stuff. Like I'm actually getting the stuff at like a reasonable price, and whatever. I always said like, cool, we'll make it legal. I'll go ahead and pay tax. So I'm all right. I'll pay some. Put my money. Yeah. So I didn't want to keep giving shout outs, but yeah, I've been getting those like Fizzy cards, and they got even the Fizzy. They got like Fizzy
Oh
tree.
yeah, I mess with those too.
Yeah. I got
a lot of places are all out on those right now.
You even got that Gary Payton. You had that Gary Payton.
What, them Gary Payton shoes?
There you go.
That one?
Damn,
they got
that.
Come on, man.
Gary Payton, GP. What's happening right
now? Love.
Now, right now, one of my favorites is this Wonder Bread Beyond Blueberry. That's one of my favorites. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, the Always Ever Fire Skywalker.
That's comedy.
And then, like, my favorite brand right now for reals is Wonder Bread. These dudes. Like, that's my favorite. Like, they have the best flavors. The best flavors. The best flavors, bro. Like if you're shopping and you see one of these, if you see like a Wonder Bread strain on the list, dude, and you can afford it and you're feeling like some tree, trust me, cop it. You won't be disappointed. Even on the bottom it says flavors on flavors.
Yeah, man, all this stuff's reasonably priced. Like, whatever, I'm down.
The price is definitely like leveling out. It's just the taxes that fuck you over.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, we lived in a world where we never thought it was going to be this convenient to get that product in our hands. You know what I mean? True. Because we lived in a world where when it was contraband or illegal, you were like trying to figure out how you were going to get it. Now it's just like, what the hell? I could just literally just call somebody or do it on an app. And it comes to me.
Yeah, I do it all on my phone, dude. It's like texting. It's like ordering a pizza, Like, the dude brings it to my door.
Yeah. It's crazy. That in itself is just madness. And that should be humbling in itself. Like, damn, that's pretty dope.
That's Postmates
like, regardless.
Right there. That's
Postmates.
Yeah.
That's the poster boy for Postmates. Oh,
that's that Postmates, homie. But, let's see. Going back to what shit that we've been watching. I watched the last Star Wars, and
I never got to that.
Yeah, you probably never will, to be honest. I already know you, but
yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think my take on it is it's probably the best out of the new trilogy, but I know that that's not saying much.
Oh, yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, like I already know.
Like you're comparing, yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to compare it to anything but the other movies within the trilogy of that it's come out in. And it's probably the best one out of all of them. I mean, visually, I loved it visually. Like, it's pretty awesome. It's very well shot. It looks great. I mean,
no, it's always going to be produced well. It's Disney.
Right. I mean,
have you not been a fan of the new ones that have been coming out?
Me?
I haven't. I haven't. The only one I've liked of the new shit that's come out is Rogue One. That's the only shit I fuck with. That's the only shit I fuck with. Star Wars. Now, that and The Mandalorian, but that's
a difference.
That's a different story because that's something that's brand new.
Plus, it's
kind of
like
disconnected. That's kind of disconnected.
It's kind of like TV though too, right? It's a show.
Yeah. So, but of the films, like, nah, just Rogue One. Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One was so far.
It's definitely taken a life of its own, man. It's gotten.
But I feel the same way about Marvel movies. To me, Marvel movies now, like, it's Winter Soldier and maybe like 2 or 3 more. It's Winter Soldier and maybe like 2 or 3 other ones, and I can't even name them. I'd have to think about them. You know what I mean? But the only one I don't have to think about is Winter Soldier for sure.
Yeah, that's a for sure. That's probably for me. It's like the top one.
Easily, it should be.
And then maybe
and you're a bigger Marvel fan than I am. I really don't even give a shit about most of the Marvel shit.
And then, that Enter the Spider-Verse was dope too, but I don't know if that fits into the regular universe. I don't think so. I think it's its own standalone thing. But
I think that shit's its own shit, but that shit is sick.
I can't even keep up with all these all these Marvel, Star Wars. That's what I'm saying, man. It's just getting out of control. I can't keep up with that.
Yeah, it's too crazy. It's just churn. It's just a money machine now. That's it. I mean, it always really has been, but
Nah, it always
Have you had the Star
was,
Wars? Have you
but
had the Disney experience yet?
the Disney experience.
I mean,
nah. I haven't gone to
Star Wars.
Disneyland in like
Oh,
14 years. Wait,
yeah,
what?
Well, Disney bought more of Orange County, right, and
yeah,
turned it
yeah, yeah.
into a giant Star Wars uh, experience. I don't even want
Oh,
to.
wow.
It's not like yeah, I don't even know what to call it. It's
Oh, that's when they turn you into a computer chip. So you go there, they download your consciousness, and then you become a chip. But here's the problem: they just put you into a static computer. They don't put you into a mobile body after that. And then now they get to control the rest of your destiny. But when you go there, they don't tell you that. They tell you it's the whatever experience. It's fucking, the Pornhub experience. Welcome. And then everybody's going to sign up. Like, oh,
that's
shit.
something I would love to be totally immersed. Yeah.
See what I mean? Disney already got you. Boom. And then now you're a little chip. Now you're like an SD card. Oh, like,
I'd be an SPD card.
where's Oscar 2.0? Oh, we just cleaned that section out last week. It went down in the fire. Like, oh my God. Okay, we'll just have to. Do we have one on backup? We didn't do backups back then. We were a small company. So, yeah, no, it's not. The future's not controlled by Skynet anymore. Trust me. But it's controlled. Oh, yeah.
So like, what besides like obviously watching shit, cause that's an obvious. We're all gonna watch shit while we're bored and stuck at home. But what's some of the other things that you guys been doing to like not go crazy?
Honestly, I'm just trying to digest as many like positive things as I can, man. Be it like podcasts or reading. I've just like turned off the news. I've like just even the people I'm associating with and conversations we're having, just the bullshit I'm on my timeline on Instagram. I'm just things are so in just a weird space. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to just as many positive influences as I can get around me. That's what I'm trying to get. So I turned off I turned off El Chapo. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that Alex Smith documentary because that's just depressing as fuck. I'm doing that, man. I'm getting good. I'm reading. That's what I've been doing. Trying to get some positivity in my life.
That's awesome.
I mean, I think for
No,
me,
yeah.
like I've been just like trying to get this computer going, trying to get this stream going. Like obviously, like all this artwork that's surrounding us, making all that, all the testing I've been working on, like just things to try to keep me busy. Like what was cool is like when you reached out and like I had to do that floor plan thing. Like that took time like off my mind. Like things like that were great for me. Like I'm just trying to do creative things to stay busy. And then other than that, besides watching shit, is just playing hella video games and just
Yeah.
like being dumb as hell and replying to people on Twitter that I probably should not be doing. Like
engaging Shannon Sharp
yeah,
in
Uh,
arguments on Twitter.
you know what I mean? Like uh, I don't even want to go into that whole discussion with Shannon, but like one thing is like one thing I notice is that people will always have something to argue about, no matter what. Like you'll
People
you,
definitely love to troll.
like
It's fun.
like
It's like a hobby.
it's so
I got my
crazy to watch someone push an argument into different territories. Like yo, like we were over here. Like why are we over here now? Like focus on one thing. Like that's just
That's
irritating.
why
So
I
like I think that's
think
one thing I need to scale back on while I'm here, like while I'm stuck, is just like engaging with idiots on Twitter. Like
I
that.
think that's why it's
Don't engage
so
with idiots
hard.
on Twitter in ever 2020 and beyond. Don't ever do it because
Makes
man,
sense, yeah. No, but that's why Twitter, like it struggled to catch with me. I just can't get used to it. Like it just doesn't matter to me enough. Like even at least Instagram's more interesting because it's kind of the same shit, but you could see something. There's a visual there. But even that shit's annoying. Like I'm kind of like in agreement with both of you. Like I've scaled back a lot of like obviously the TV. I try to watch as little news as possible, but that's a normal thing for me. But yeah, I'm also just trying to stay creative. I've been working on like even music. I got a little
Hey,
keyboard here. I
that
am
force.
been drawing, painting more. You know what I mean?
Excellent.
That's pretty dope. That's awesome. Any
I
kind
am
of
the tambourine
sound
man.
shit. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh
And
yeah.
just yeah, and then same like with Nate too, just trying to figure out like how to get things set up here finally electronically and just from a workspace standpoint too, to
Yeah,
just
yeah.
continue the creative flow. And I've just took a break from all socials in general too. Like I felt like that was important because I started feeling the same way as like Oscar was saying, like where just the social media started feeling a little bit claustrophobic. Like you know what I mean? It was just repeating the same shit over and over. Remember when there was a point where we were so tired of radio because it was just the playlist was obvious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could tell they were running a playlist and you were like, "Damn, man, it is annoying." Like I've heard this song like 4 times. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, like Groundhog Day. Yeah, like Groundhog Day. So that's how, dude, that's exactly how social media felt. Like it was just like, oh, it's a playlist. Social media turned into a playlist right now.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm out. Peace. And it's been a good thing so far. Like it's been healthy. I think it feels better.
So you're not alone over there too. You got a son, man. What are you
Yeah,
doing? What
I
have you
got my
done? Like
8-year-old son, and I'm over here with my parents right now too.
how you uh
It's
how
busy.
you how
It's
you
busy.
translating to him what's going on right now? Like
Um, it really is because it's
how
forcing
you
me to
yeah
think
man, how you
about
manage
it because
how you
because
manage to
it
keep things normal over there when
because it's
everything's
weird,
not
but it
normal?
isn't. Because it's obviously weird because he's not in school and everything, but he doesn't mind not being in school. He's also not like a kid that steps back. He's usually like top 3, I would even say. I wouldn't even say top 5. And that's not just because I'm a proud father and I'm bragging about my son. It's just legit the data that I get back from, whatever institution he's at. So it's just like, but it's still not to the hardcore level. It's just like, oh, shit's just a little too easy right now. But it's not to a level where it's just like I enjoy it. I love it. Like he's so happy to be away from it. So it almost feels like an extended like summer vacation
Yeah.
that we've had
Well,
before, right?
how do you
But
explain to him how serious this thing is? Like
well, sometimes it's not as bad because unfortunately right now there is more interaction with electronics than I personally like. But you know what I mean? You got to give his mind and himself a little break too. You know what I mean? Because the pressure to them is a lot more stressful than it is to us. When we feel stressed out and pressured, like it sucks. There's a lot of anxiety buildup and all this madness, and it makes you unfocused. But as an adult, you can kind of keep it together through all that. And I mean, when they're going through that, they don't even know how to react. And so they react like a child, which means just in a burst of just energy, just in the moment stuff, which means that could either mean a lot of crying, a lot of yelling, a lot of jumping all over the place, being all over the walls, getting into trouble, doing things like that. You know what I mean? Curiosity, I guess. So it's just hard to try to compress all that. And for him, at the same time, he's just like, this is cool. But sometimes when I'm going somewhere, like let's say the grocery store or something, he's like, let me just go. Can I go? And it's just like, it's hard to explain to him that he can't. And I know
his
that's
life is on the line.
right. And I understand how, like, probably some people even listening, if there's even anybody listening, I love you guys if you are. But like that might seem strict and kind of like, whoa, that's extreme as a parent. You won't even take him to the grocery store. And honestly, when it all first started, I was like, yeah, I also felt the same way. I was like, man, no, you could come with me. Like, you'll be fine, but just understand the rules. There's parameters now. And the moment I took him anywhere, like I didn't realize how much he does touch his face and things, and he wasn't even just doing it in a bad way. It was just him, his normal self that I'm used to always. And it's just like, wow, you are always grabbing things, and it's like right now is not the time to
Yeah.
find out. Yeah, I mean, right now is not the time to find out whether I believe it 100% or not. I just don't want to be the one guy that was just like, ha, I thought it was all a game, and then have to go through some shit where it's just like, damn, man, I put people's lives in danger just because I was a skeptic. You know what I mean? For what? For what? To me, there's more important things.
Like, it's an enemy you can't see. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
it's hard
right.
to grasp
Well,
it. I can't.
Well, it's fear. It's fear. It's
a
silent enemy.
It's real.
It's a silent enemy. Yeah. No, but it's real. Fear is a good thing sometimes too, though. The problem is some people that even get into like the successful types that are just like these uber successful people, and the young entrepreneurs are always like, you got to let go of fear and this and that. And it's like, yeah, to an extent, but fear's built into our system for a reason too. We're meant to feel a little bit anxious. It's for our safety and survival.
The lives of thousands of other people are at risk. I'm still having a hard time like downloading and processing this and what's going on and all the social restrictions that we're taking. I can't even imagine how it must be like trying to I guess explain that to a young tiny human.
It's difficult, but they're also on a higher level than we were at that point in our lives. You know what I mean? Because he's had access to information at his fingertips since he was born.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just like his knowledge level and even just his vocabulary and the way that he expresses himself is just like, it's like you just said a few minutes ago, like a tiny human, but he's a human. And so it makes you be more empathetic in that way. In terms of like when I was growing up, I just remember the adults always being like, where the adults were more important. You know what I mean? You speak when spoken to or whatever. You felt inferior. Right. Whereas this is like, you're not inferior. You're just smaller than me right now. You're just a little smaller than me, but you could be as smart as me, as bright as me, as skillful as me, as creative as me. You could be all those things and more. You could be more than that, actually.
I imagine like parenting now has got to be way different than it was.
100%. 100%. You know what I mean? But in both directions, there's just as bad parenting happening right now as good parenting. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
It just happens. Because that same technology can be evil in reverse. You know what I mean? In terms of just overconsumption, right?
On that note, have you guys picked up any good or bad habits during lockdown?
I'm trying to stop smoking cigarettes.
Good luck.
I'm trying.
I mean, the only bad one I could say, I guess, is just drinking. I've drank more than I've drank in a long time. Like, because I'm not usually a drinker. Like, I'm more of a smoker. It might be
diametrically opposed to all the positivity I've been trying to absorb, but I've been doing tons of binge drinking.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm just trying to stay relaxed. I'm just trying to stay lax, too. So it's just like a drink or two will kind of,
I'm saving it for that first Liverpool game back.
Man. I mean, how long is it going to take you to like go out regularly? You know,
bro, I
go back to the bar. When when your boy's gonna write you another letter and say, "Hey, Nate, it's good to go back out," you'd be like, "Let's go, let's hit it up."
If the bar was open and the games were on, I would go.
No, but the honest to God truth is that it's never gonna be the same again. Like things are gonna be weird for a long time.
Yeah.
Because they're even talking about opening things in phases, which means like a phase one would be like restaurants are able to open. They're included in phase one, but they have to follow these strict regulations.
Maybe like limited
which means limited capacity, and tables have to be a certain distance from each other. Patrons have to be like, that's gonna be weird, bro. Second of all, a lot of people are gonna be really weird about just going out and just being around each other. Like being around each other now is going to be weirder than ever. And I already felt like we were too distant, but that was just me already being an older person and being like delving more into my spirituality and just, you know what I mean? And my philosophies and shit like that.
Being out in public.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's just going to be tenfold. It's going to be an extremely odd future. The kind of future that we always read about or watched in like old dystopian sci-fi movies.
The kind of future that Tyler, the creator, would perhaps told us about.
Yeah.
So what's the first restaurant you're going back to when we open up?
First restaurant?
Yeah.
Hinka.
Where you sit down at?
Nah,
He's like,
nah,
hey,
nah.
hey.
No, to be honest, first restaurant I'm going to probably is Urban Plates. I think that's probably the first place I'm going.
Mm,
I haven't been there. I
interesting.
missed that place.
I don't think I heard. What's it?
It's by Delamo Mall. It's on
Oh, okay.
it's like on I think it's on Hawthorne. I can't remember
I've
which.
heard about it. I know exactly where it's at, but I've never been to it.
Yeah. It's
What
popping.
about
I
you?
don't
I
know.
like it.
Huh? First restaurant for me? That's an interesting question. I don't even fucking know.
We'll go to the DR and grab me a beer.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's funny.
The bars will
Yeah.
definitely be at capacity. That's the first thing that people are going to for sure.
That's what I'm saying. If the bars are
Yeah.
open, fuck it. You see people at the beach, open the fucking bars. Let's make some money. Let's get drunk. Let's get fucked up. Fuck it. I
Yeah, but
mean,
that
no matter what we do, we're not gonna stop the spread. Yes, we're gonna slow the spread, but we're never gonna ever stop the spread. Never. Never gonna get stopped unless they come up with a
no,
cure.
we're not
That's
gonna
it.
stop the spread, but the real infection's happening in people's minds right now. It's just like that's gonna change. The global consciousness is gonna change in terms of like the way we feel about everything just in general anyway. So if you have like a bar, like someone that works at a bar that feels that way, they have a solid complaint now. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Whereas like anywhere else, they'd be like, man, we have this annoying girl that's a bartender now that doesn't want nobody around her that seems like they're sick. You know what I mean?
Like,
Now if someone's sick, it's like, bro, that shit's gonna be illegal. Like you need to stay home.
I mean, that's
You know
probably
what I
just
mean?
good practice in general,
how
right?
long
No,
until
I mean it
motherfuckers
is.
start
It is
robbing
though.
places?
It is.
Hey, but
It
how
is,
long
but it's
until?
also like, how do you control that? But how do you
Yeah.
control that? You know what I mean?
But how long
It's
until
weird.
motherfuckers start robbing places with their masks and gloves on and shit? They're just gonna start robbing places like they're not. They're
Yeah,
just
like
gonna
it's got to be tough being a liquor store, right?
like like like. I mean, there's no way to protect from that, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
where
everybody's
are you
identity
gonna
is
be?
gonna be hidden all the time.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm cool with that.
I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
that's what I'm saying. It's got to be tough being
But they
a
gotta
liquor
let
store.
us. They gotta let us be able to
Mass.
protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we. I don't want to go into the politics. Actually, switch that. I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to go there. But we could go on that forever. But
Yeah, they should get Jordan on this, on the cure. If anybody can do it, I think my man. Like, yeah, he kicked Ewing's ass.
hey
He
man.
could take over.
Hey. So yeah, I mean, this shit's been crazy. But you know what I saw on your Twitter? You've been posting that you've been reading a lot. Like, what?
Yeah.
You got
Well, I
any?
mean,
You got any suggestions or a review you want to kick down real quick?
I always got something open. You know, like I said, I've been trying to get a lot of positivity uh, anywhere. Again, anything that I'm reading. I've been like, oddly enough, I've been reading a lot of bhakti, a lot about bhakti yoga. I don't know. Joe Rogan had Ray Capo on. He used to play in a hardcore band, and he does like a yoga podcast now. So I've been like getting into that a lot.
Okay.
So I've been just reading about how to so just trying to get in touch with a religious side, I guess.
You
I got a
started to
lot
do
of
yoga or
questions,
what?
man.
You been doing
I
yoga?
mean, mental yoga. I don't got the body to get on the floor and be stretching like that.
You
You know
got
what I'm
it. I
saying?
mean,
I'm
that's
just
part
trying
of
to
it.
stretch my brain.
That's part of it,
Yeah,
though,
for sure.
right? Mental and physical.
But
It's
yeah,
part of
man,
it.
shoot. Follow me on Goodreads, man. I always got tons. Send me your suggestions, man. I got tons of stuff on there. I'm always reading. I
Fuck,
just got done reading some more James Baldwin. I just got done reading Tell Me How Long the Train's Been Gone. That one was like his second book, something like that. It's not my favorite James Baldwin. A lot of his stories tend to have a reflect on himself. Like it's hard to like not picture him when you're reading about the main characters in his stories.
Okay.
This one is just a younger actor has a heart attack on stage. It's just a lot of his stories are about being black in a time where it's not easy being black, being bisexual and the time it's not easy to be bisexual or gay. A lot of religious themes. He came up from a religious family. A few of his stories again go into yeah, it's just good. I don't know. I'm shit for reviews. I like reading a book and getting the feeling that I have when I'm in it. I'm kind of like just totally immersed in the book. You ask me about, I don't know, some story. I won't remember what happened beginning and end, but I'll tell you how I felt the whole way. You know, it's more of a visceral experience to me. So, but yeah, man, follow me on Goodreads, bro. I love to digest as much stuff as I can.
I'm back. My bad. I had to put the little guy down. I didn't even know he was in my room. That's how good the noise cancellation was on these headphones. I just turned around and he was just standing there, bro. I was like, what? No.
See?
You
See?
need to chill with that.
I'm glad we switched that camera angle. I'm telling you, man.
I literally just like happened to just turn that way and he was just standing. I don't even know if he was talking before that. I have no idea. I heard nothing. I was like, what? That's how crazy it was. I was like, that was wild. But that's a good thing. At least
I thought you snuck away to drop a juicer.
No, I would have told you guys. I'd have been like, I'll be back. The 2 at 2 is calling. You know?
2 at 2.
Yeah. And like, we out. No, but we good. I bought him a Kindle today, one of those like electronic ones. And when you buy the kids edition, they give you 1 year free of this thing, their subscription service called Free Time, where they have access to hundreds of free books. So he's got that free for a year. So I'm just like, bro, you have a whole library in your hands right now. With Wi-Fi, you have a whole library in your hands. Handles. Man. Enjoy yourself. Good night. Yeah. I mean, that's popping. I wish I had books like that.
You monitor his stuff? You monitor his like
No, it's a kids edition, so all of it goes to my account. It's through my account. Sure. It just sets it up. He can't buy anything. If he does try, an alert will come out on my phone immediately. Like, I got it all.
But I mean, generally, do you like keep an eye on this kind of things that he's looking up, or like the videos he's watching on YouTube, stuff like that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. 100%. But like that Kindle edition won't let him download anything that's not kid friendly. So he doesn't have access to any books. Even the books that are linked to my account, I can't download them on that Kindle. It won't even allow me, even if I wanted to. It just completely blocked it from a hardware standpoint, not even from like a soft firmware update or anything. It's just that Kindle cannot receive that stuff no matter what. Because what happens is that it's a little bit cheaper because it's a kid one. So adults started buying it and complaining about that. And it's just like, deal with it. You bought a kid's version. You know what I mean? Because you didn't want to break, the bread. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, I think it's cool because it's just like cool. At least it's something he could do at night with all the lights off because it still shines, and it doesn't shine like a cell phone, so it doesn't hurt your vision. It almost looks like a book in the dark. It's weird. I have one. I have an adult version, but yeah. So I think it's awesome because he could just read. Like he could just read himself to sleep. That's the best way to, I think, retain information. To be honest. It's like right before you go to sleep, even if you remember it or not, I think subconsciously it just sticks somewhere.
Yeah, a good story is better than falling asleep with the TV on, man, any day.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I used to fall asleep with TV on all the time when I was a kid. Yeah. I think it's why I wear glasses, to be honest. I watched a lot of TV at night in the dark. Shit. But yeah, I'm blind as fuck. Like if I take these glasses off, like I'm somewhere else. It's like Ant-Man. You guys ever seen that movie? Like when I take the glasses off, I'm like in microscopic world. Everything just turns black. Like what the fuck? Like done.
I had glasses when I was younger, like 10 or 11. And like,
what the hell?
I broke them. We got them fixed, and then like I think I sat on them and broke them a second. My dad was like, you don't really need glasses. So I never had glasses after that. That was pretty much it.
Damn, right, bro.
So far, I guess.
I should have gone. I should have just.
Glasses are expensive, man. Especially when you got like 6 kids in the house. That was all right. I could see well enough.
Damn, bro. I should have gone to your dad instead of the optometrist. Just say, hey, you good? You all right? As long as you don't run to the pole. But no, it's true. Like, I think that my vision got progressively worse when I started wearing glasses for sure. But I still had bad eyesight. I needed them regardless, but it wasn't bad. It was just like I got to squint a little bit. I mean, but I could still see far. It was just the thing that finally got me to wear glasses was I just finally like it just felt dangerous driving at night. Like I just, like it felt like a dangerous thing to do. Like I was like, oh, I have no idea what that next street is, and it's the street I'm coming up on. You know what I mean? Like fuck, it's bad. Like, cause you could just get not even for running into shit, but just not knowing where you are. You know what I mean? And this is like in a time before like you could just slap GPS on your cell phone or whatever. It's like if you got lost, you got lost. Legit. Yeah, I mean.
That's kind of just how I live my life, just oblivious to my surroundings, not knowing where I am or my place in this world is.
You know what? You know what's crazy that you say that? Because the other day while I was riding my bike, I just, for whatever reason, like my glasses got a little dirty and I got annoyed riding with them. I was like, if I'm gonna ride with dirty glass, I'm gonna ride with nothing. So while I was riding, I took them off and I had a jacket that has like a front pocket right here. So I put them in the front pocket and oh my gosh, it was like the most enjoyable like 5 minutes of my ride ever to not be able to see shit. But see enough to where it's like I'm not gonna run into anything, but I cannot see shit. Everything is blurry. Reality is blurry right now. I love it. It was fucking fantastic. I get it.
You let Jesus take the wheel, huh?
Yeah, hell yeah, fuck it. It's my name, so I might as well, dude. I gotta take some of the ownership. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta cut me a check. When it's all said and done, you gotta cut me a check. I don't care if he opens up the gates for me, but yeah, it's all good. What you doing over there, Jordan? You over there clean the dust off your desk? It's all good. We all got consumables. I'm with you. Cheers. Cheers.
You mentioned it. What's my boy? Elon doing over there? Is he making more holes in the ground?
Oh, damn. Dude. This motherfucker's gonna send COVID to the space station, bro. Them astronauts better be masked up, boy. I better see some masks on them boys. Ah, dude, nah.
Can you imagine? Like, can you believe the weed we have back on Earth?
Oh, they got some of the nuttiest shit. That's that zero gravity shit, yeah.
You know, all the best weed has like space names too.
No, and plus,
like
remember,
Yoda,
I remember,
like whatever.
I remember the old homemade gravity bong. Remember the? Hold on, remember the old homemade gravity bong? Imagine how that shit works up there. You could just do that into a wall.
The no
like,
gravity.
Oh, just catch the smoke like little bubbles, like. Whoop.
Yeah, in my experience, generally the stuff that's named after fruit isn't that good, and the stuff that has some sort of space name, yeah, banana emoji is whack or straw nana. None of that.
It sounds good to say that's true. No, but also everything with a fruity name is usually a sativa too. That's why.
Well, that's my type, man. I like that. I love me a sativa.
Oh man, not me. I need a heavy hitter. That kind of just makes your eyelids just kind of fold backwards and just roll back like little taquitos on top of your eyes. Ooh. Oh, that's that Clockwork Orange, boy. Oscar, what's your favorite sci-fi movie of all time? Wait, don't answer that yet. I'll be right back.
You gonna drop another masa or what?
No, not this time. But make sure nothing's happening out here. The beat.
Sci-fi? I think it's sci-fi. Well, it sure the hell wasn't Red Dawn. I'll tell you that much. I don't know if that's a sci-fi movie. I don't know, man. I've been getting into sci-fi books though. Shoot. If you ever read any Ray Bradbury is good, man. I just no, go. Oh, I just finished reading a Frederick Pohl book, Man Plus. It's kind of angsty. They're trying to like send somebody into space in a human form. It's cost efficient, but they're kind of training his body to be able to stand being in outer space. And more, they start taking actual pieces of his body and turning him into like a robot, taking his senses, taking his genitals, working on his eyes. So sci-fi books are great, man. A lot of them have to do with like going to Mars, though. You know, yeah. A lot of the older ones have a lot to do with like going out to Mars. A lot of Ray Bradbury's books have a lot. It's always, oh, we're in Mars.
Okay,
but I guess Elon's gonna take over Mars before.
I heard you guys talking about books, though. You've been reading books. What have you been reading lately?
I was saying I've been getting it more into sci-fi books than any TV or films. I'm telling you, man, get on my Goodreads, bro.
Oh, I gotta see that. I never use Goodreads. I have an account, but I never use it. And like shit always ask me, would you like to upload this to your Goodreads? Like I guess what I'm reading or whatever. And I'm like, oh, yeah, man, I just want to read this shit. Yeah, no, yeah. But I gotta mess with it more because it's true. It's awesome to get suggestions from other people because you could get stuck on a genre too. Like sometimes I get stuck genre reading, and I'm like, I'm so over this shit right now. Like I need like right now I'm reading a surrealist novel called The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. It's by a Japanese author called Haruki Murakami. Yeah. And it's so far it's pretty weird. It's like just about a couple that lives in Japan, like not necessarily in like Tokyo or big, but it's like kind of big city-ish, but a mix of both, little big city and kind of like country Tokyo. I mean, country Japan. Anyway, their cat goes missing. Dude quit his job at a law firm, and then something weird happens where they name the cat after the brother-in-law, and these two females come out of nowhere, and supposedly they're like psychics or whatever, and they start talking about the brother-in-law raped one of them, and that somehow this is connected to the cat being missing. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm like, what the fuck? But that's the beauty of books. It's just like, what? But you got to keep reading it. It's like, that's why you got to keep reading it, because it's just like, what? But it's awesome. It's a great book so far. I like it. They call it, that's called like a surrealist novel, though. It's supposed to be a little weird. Yeah, I mean, but it's right up my alley. And even more so that it's Japanese. I love Japanese culture type shit. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, if you guys are into that kind of shit, The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, check that shit out.
Sounds poppin'. Sounds weird.
Yeah.
Sounds like some shit you would fuck with.
But there's a lot of little chapters or instances in the book that would make a great film. Like you could extract the film from it. Like where it's like, oh, I didn't think of that. But it'd be awesome to see that shit on the screen. Yeah. But that's the beauty of reading like that. But I read so many books at a time. I'm also rereading Big Sur right now, which I don't know if you guys have ever read that book. That one's awesome. Big Sur. It's about the actual Big Sur in California, right? And there's this one famous author. I think it was written in the 60s, but the author's basically writing it kind of about himself, but it's fictional. It's a fictional kind of biographical type shit. And he's talking about these vacations where he used to go, where one of his rich homies had like a nice cabin in Big Sur, and he would go over there whenever he wanted. He'd just ask, because it was like a summer house too, because he was already a baller. He was already famous. And he was from New York, so he would come out to Big Sur and he'd just party. You know what I mean? He'd get drunk, whatever. And the real reason he would start going over there, though, the initial reason was because he was trying to catch a breath of air, get away from the big city, get away from the fame, get away from all that shit and just be regular. But every time, like, his vice keeps finding him. And the problem is he's like a heavy alcoholic, so he'd find his way into town, get really drunk, use a celebrity to get away with shit, just messy. And it's just like this chronicle of just like a tormented life where he just keeps this cyclical like fucking, you know what I mean? Like he can't get out of this problem that it starts becoming even bigger and big sewer every time he visits there. So it's meant to be a place where he goes to get some isolation, to get some safety, to get some recovery. And it didn't matter because he's the one that's the problem. You know what I mean? It's an internal thing. But it's crazy and it's kind of sad at the same time to see it. You know what I mean? Even to read it, you know what I mean? A person, because it's the person's first-hand account. So it's like, oh, God, this is fucking heart-wrenching, but it's crazy. It's fascinating.
That sounds good. I'm going to add that to my Goodreads. Right.
Yeah, that's legit. That's one of the fucking greatest books I've ever, like that one I'll forever reread. That's that kind of book where it's just like, oh shit, okay, that one's going on the permanent shelf. Like boop, like yeah, no, that one.
Oh, Jack Kerouac.
Yeah, Jack Kerouac.
Oh,
it's basically about him, man. Like that shit is wild, bro. That's one. I'm telling you guys, read that shit. That's a good one. That's a good one. It's pretty fucked up, but it's great because it's about humanity more than anything.
Yeah, man. After this pandemic's over, man, I'm totally back down to dive into this kind of sick, crazy mindset. There you go, right here. I don't know if you can see that.
It's blurred out.
Well, anyway, yeah, I see you here. Big censored. Yeah, I'm totally down to start getting into the crazy stuff again, right? Get back into the serial killer documentaries, or get back into the alcoholic artists, or all that. I can't take it right now, though. You know, even going to my grandma's house, watching like Primer Impactos on TV. I just like this. I don't want to see any of it right now.
Makes sense.
Oh, I get it. I've just always lived in that space where, like, I enjoy just the torment of life and the reality, and like, those are my kind of films, my kind of art. I'm a
glutton for misery, but right now, man, I'm just not feeling the vibe right now.
All right, so we pretty much covered everything that we kind of initially set out to cover. I just have one question that I kind of want to round it off for both you guys, but actually for all three of us, to be honest, and just to round off this episode.
How many lifelines do we have? How many lifelines?
It's just gonna be a question, and you're gonna get three choices, right? And you have to have three answers. So it's a question with three answers. Okay? So basically the question is this. Who is your favorite Premier League player, NFL player, and NBA player, but that are not on the team that you root for? So no Liverpool players for any of us. No Raiders for me and Oscar. No Cowboys for you. And no Lakers for any of us. So I don't know. If you want, like, I guess I'll start it off.
Yeah.
All right. So for NBA, my favorite non-Laker currently playing would probably be Kyrie Irving. NFL.
Where Kyrie's not playing either.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Here we go.
Those are facts, though. Those are facts. Damn, bro.
Well, shit, I can't say Steph. I can't say KD. I can't say, like, I mean, to be honest, my favorite player to watch is Kyrie Irving, no matter what. Just currently right now. But obviously I think LeBron is the better player and blah, 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 blah. But no Lakers. So anyway, going to NFL, oh man, Oscar might hate me, but I'm gonna say my favorite.
Don't blaspheme on the Raiders right now. I'm not having any of that.
Oh man, my favorite non-Raider in the NFL is Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's an easy one.
Oh wow!
I mean, the shit that the boy does.
I wasn't expecting that, but I'm not mad at it. I get it.
And then
it is wild.
Let's see. My favorite Prem player to watch that is not on Liverpool. would probably be N'Golo Kante. I like
Okay,
Conte.
Oh,
Yeah, I like
that's
wow.
Conte a
also a
lot.
pretty easy
Okay.
choice, man.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like
like
that. I
Conte
like
a lot.
that.
I
I
like
like
Conte a
all
lot.
three of those. That
Yeah.
was nice. So what was it? So I could just go through it real quick. Just read it out to me.
Okay, so my favorite NBA player not on the Lakers, Kyrie Irving. My favorite NFL player not on the Raiders, Patrick Mahomes. And my favorite Premier League player not on Liverpool, N'Golo Kante.
Okay. So does it have to be current players?
Yeah, current.
Oh fuck. My list in my head was just all time. Damn. I wasn't even gonna pick Jordan. I wasn't even gonna pick Jordan.
I probably
Yeah.
dislike the Conte pick more than the Patrick Mahomes pick.
That's
Because
fine.
I dislike Chelsea more than I dislike any Chief. Patrick Mahomes is doing the damn thing right now. It's hard to dislike that dude.
Well, for me, the reasoning why I
But I just
picked
want to shit.
the reason why I picked Conte is because one, I like defense. Like that's just something I like in all the sports anyway. Like that's something that I'm more attracted to watching. Um, and I like the fact that he's a little dude, but he just commands that center defensive part of the pitch. Just completely commands that area, and he's a fucking little beast, dude. Like he's really strong. Like you ever see that video of him boxing out Virgil and shit? Like he's just literally like he looks like a little kid holding on to Virgil. Like it's so funny, but I remember watching that game and Virgil couldn't get up for a header. Like he couldn't get to the ball. And okay, fuck, dude. Like yeah, that Virgil's probably my favorite Liverpool player, but yo, like you got to give that respect where it's due. Like he did his job, and that's that's the kind of shit that inspired me for that. And then Patrick Mahomes, I mean, yeah, you just said it. That's it's easy. I mean,
Yeah.
MVP, just he's doing shit that he look. If we were picking all time, like Chewy wanted to, my all time favorite NFL player is Brett Favre, regardless of team, right? So Patrick Mahomes is Brett Favre, fucking 2.0, right? I mean, but just I mean, way crazier, like in my opinion, athletically, like he's just a beast. So
I
that for me is
like
an easy
I
one.
like Ed Reed or Charles Woodson. Those are the two that I
Oh,
like.
Well,
he
if
would,
we're
man. That's my favorite player of all time for sure.
yes, I mean,
Those
see what is
those,
popping. See what
those
is popping
two,
too.
yeah, non-Cowboys all time is gonna be one of those two, and
Yeah.
it's hard for me. I don't know, but those two I just think was like, holy shit! These guys are just an all-natural, great football players. I just smart, athletic, fucking just leadership. You know what I mean? Like just the package, the star. Who's my picks for current? Shit, man. Fuck, that's hard. But okay, Premier League is probably gonna be fuck, what team does he play for? He plays for Leicester. James Madison.
Oh,
James Madison to
thought
me
you're
is
about to
like
steal my guy.
no, it's James Madison. I because James Madison, I forgot where he played before, but I've been watching James Madison for a minute. He was playing for a league championship team last year. I don't remember who. But anyways, one of those top teams like a Birmingham or something. But anyways, he's sick. What else were we supposed to pick? That's my Premier League one. NFL non-cowboy player. Damn. I had to look this up. That's like how out of the mix I was in the NFL last year. And I won
Oh,
one
Madison was
fantasy
that
title
close.
still. Yeah. Who's out there right now? I don't know.
We'll come back to you, Oscar. What you got for me? I know you're
Yeah.
on point,
Man,
ready to go.
you
You
know, you
fired. You're
know,
locked and
you know my. You already know where I'm going with my Premier pick, man. Jamie Vardy is having a party, and that's that's my type of party, bro. Jamie Vardy is the business. He's so integral to what they do. He's so fun to watch. The dude scores every time he's on the pitch, man. He's fun. Jamie Vardy's having a party, and it's just fun to say. Yeah. It's football. If we can't pick any Raiders, it's still got to be Aaron Rodgers, right? I mean, right now he's got a fucking chip on his shoulder this year. I can't wait to see what he's gonna do. I want to see him prove those cats wrong. I want to see him prove everybody wrong. I want to see him shoot Derek Carr. Derek Carr ain't it, Chief. I'll tell you that. I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll respect to Derek Carr. He's been a good sport, but it's not gonna happen this year. That's for sure. So he's gonna have one of those Favre resurgences or something. But I can't wait to see what he's gonna come out and do. I want to see him. He's my favorite non-Raider. It's going to be tough to watch those games, I think, right? Because he doesn't have weapons. He gets hit a lot. But I'm going to be rooting for the guy regardless. And as far as basketball, when my fantasy team isn't on the line, I don't know so much about one player, but I love to watch what Toronto's doing, man. Like, they're a fun team to watch with or without Kawhi, Those always seem to be missing somebody from the rotation. Still put it down. Are still one of the better defensive teams. They run like a well-oiled machine. Like the Spurs used to run. You take one of those.
Well, they're out of that. They're out of that mold, right? I mean, that's the Spurs mold anyway, right?
Yeah. I mean, everything that Masai Ujiri does, the kind of interesting players that he gets, the players that they have are so I don't know. They do so many things like OG Anunoby. They're all like Swiss pocket knives. The way that team fits together, the way they play within themselves, that's a fun team to watch, man. Yeah. That's a fun team to watch. Like, Toronto's putting on. Toronto's hot, man.
Are you doing this because you're trying to say not Kyrie Irving, but Kyle Lowry is your favorite NBA player?
Oh my goodness!
Is that what you were trying to get to? Is that what it was?
Don't say that. No, but I've seen Toronto play live. I went to a Laker game when they got beat by Toronto live, and it was sick. Like, that you're right. It's a fun team to watch play basketball. I wasn't even mad that day that I went to a game and the Lakers got beat because they got beat legit. Like, they battled in that game, and Toronto was just better. I was like, oh, shit. And AD and Braun were both healthy, son. No excuses. They just got cooked. It was nice. It was fun.
They're too good. They're put together real well. They play within themselves. They know.
When I watched them, I felt the same way as you. I was like, oh shit, it wasn't just Kawhi. Kawhi was the biggest piece. He's the one that won that. He's the one that won them that championship legit. But it was like, I didn't realize how good the team was around him too.
He missed plenty of games with injury and rest, and they still were out there taking dubs too. They missed a lot. People thought, well, how are they going to fare, without the Kawhi? It's not. They won so many games without him. It works.
No, they're fine. They're fine. They just need a star that wants to go there now, and they'll be fine. And eventually, a star will. It's not that bad. It's Toronto still. It's like Canada, New York, bro.
So who you got, Oscar? Let's round you out.
Well, my pick was the Raptors. My whole pick was the whole Raptors, not just one guy. If I could cheat a little bit, but I got the Raptors and Jamie Vardy and Aaron Rodgers. Give me that.
All right.
Nobody's going to see.
You can't pick a whole nother team. You can't pick a whole team. You can't pick a whole other team. You gotta just take your Kyle Lowry pick and just run with it.
I'm not taking Kyle. Don't you put that on. I'm not taking Kyle. Give me Siakam. I'm not taking him. Give me Fred VanVleet. I don't want no Kyle.
Oh, I like the way Fred plays, huh?
All right. Well, I like Mitchell Robinson a lot, but nobody's tuning in to watch him. He's playing 20 minutes for the Knicks, but the energy that this guy gives out all the time. Watching him swat 4 blocks a game, like, that's fun to me. He's a pogo stick. Mitchell Robinson's with the shit.
He's just a little inconsistent right now.
I like a lot of NBA cats, man. know if I could choose just one.
No, well, that's the same. That's why right now when you said current, I was stuck. I was like, damn. But I'm good now. I got my shit. Whenever you're ready.
Shoot, man. So, not Kyle Lowry. Jamie Vardy's having a party. Aaron Rodgers and not Kyle Lowry.
Ronto. Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready. The dust has been kicked. Oh, I already said it. That was from Leicester City, and that's James Madison. I just think as an offensive midfielder, he's pretty fucking good. And he gets no credit for it just because, like, Messi still exists, right? You know what I mean? And he's not Flash, but he fucking scores some spectacular goals and sets up some beautiful goals where it's just like, man, that's beautiful. And I appreciate that position a lot because, as you know, my favorite, like, if we were going to say all-time non-Liverpool, Nate should know this, but it's always been Andres Iniesta. Nah, it's been Andres Iniesta, and I absolutely... That's funny. I'm gonna bend it like Beckham. Anyways, so yeah, get bent. So, anyways, yeah, it's Iniesta. I like that position a lot. It is what it is. But anyways,
and he's still out there right now. Iniesta's still playing.
Yeah, he's in Japan. He's playing in Kobe.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in Kobe, Japan. Mm-hmm.
He's not with is Wenger still out there?
Who?
Arsene Wenger.
I don't know.
I didn't even know he was out there.
Yeah, I know that's where he started. I know that. No, that's where he started his career. I know that.
I know. I think he went back. I think he went back or something.
Maybe.
Well, that motherfucker's crazy.
I don't know.
Google, where's Arsene Wenger?
I know Torres called it quits this year too.
You're gonna find them in like West Covina or some shit. Like, what the hell? Arsene Wenger's living in West Covina? Yeah. That's my premier player, James Madison. Yes, I think he's coming up. He's next. But yeah, I like him already. Yeah. Nah, Leicester's balling. That's why Leicester's balling. They got some undercover stars. They got some undercover stars on that team, and that team is fun to watch. That's my favorite non-Liverpool team to watch. If we're going to talk about non-team.
Like any easy picks, like the Mbappes of the world, or you know what I'm saying, like Gaymar.
No, yeah, it was Premier League.
Well, right.
Because I was thinking outside of the Prem at first. I was going to say an Inter player, to be honest, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my Premier League player. My NBA player, my favorite NBA player to watch right now is Luka Doncic. Bro, that boy is just
a good pick. That's for sure a good pick.
That's a different level of basketball, but the kind of different level that I enjoy. Like, that's pure basketball, I feel, to me. Oh my gosh, he is such a baller, and he's still so underrated. I think the Mavs are next in a few years if they do shit right, but they'll probably fuck it up. You know what I mean? Because they're the Mavs. But
as long as Porzingis stays healthy, man, they're
but Porzy has just like, I don't trust that shit. Just same way I don't even trust it with AD. Like, if this shit didn't happen, like, AD got saved by COVID, I think. But anyways, Luka Doncic right now, I love watching him play. That is my favorite player. He's up next.
His game's so
to be a star. Yeah. He's nutty. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Giannis too. I love that. He's a beast. But I don't know. Like, I feel like Giannis, we've kind of seen shit similar to that before. Yeah, I mean, it's very dominant, but I feel like we've seen that shit before. Whereas, like, Luka is something refreshing. Like, wow, like, this shit is just like effortlessly good, but in such a graceful way. I love it. You know what I mean?
Giannis is like young Braun.
Yeah, exactly. And this is like more of like just a young, fundamentally sound basketball player.
Hmm.
Like, whoa,
Like
whoa, this
he'll be
guy,
able to
it's
play like Luca
shocking.
will be able to play a long time because his game isn't an athletic game. His game is
Right.
a
Yeah, he's not burning
purely
anybody, but he's
skill
still.
fundamental
No, no,
game.
no. He's just a very intelligent player.
So he'll have a
Like,
long
yeah.
career. Even if he gets hurt, I mean, it's not gonna. I don't see it impacting him too crazy, because he's not. He's already not a fast runner or a high jumper anyway. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
He plays the game smart. So yeah, Luca's a fun player to watch too.
Luca's dope.
All right,
If any of
so
y'all
who are
haven't
your
been on Luca, just get on Luca.
who are your three?
So I've only said two, which was
Oh,
James Madison from Leicester City. My
right.
NBA player is Luka Doncic. And NFL player, I'm probably gonna have to go with because I like defensive players. I'm probably gonna have to go with Nick Bosa from the Niners, even though I hate the
Okay.
Niners. But I just have to be honest, that boy's a beast.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
and it's ridiculous. And I've always just been used to liking defensive linemen or linebackers a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like the Ray Lewises, you know what I mean? Those
right.
cats, the Marcus Ware. You know what I mean? My dude from the Broncos, what's his name? Used to come out in the Old Spice commercials and shit.
Von Miller.
Yeah, Von
Yeah.
Miller, just an absolute monster.
Old
JJ
Spice.
Watt, the Watt brothers. Oh man, like I
Thank you.
love that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that shit. So, but right now, that dude right now is Nick. You know what I mean? And as long as he's there, that's why the Niners can get to to get to a Super Bowl.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, because they don't got a killer offense. Who could you name on their offense? No name offense. No
Three
name
different
offense.
running backs. George Kittle.
Yeah.
I mean, George Kittle's with the shits for sure.
But he's a tight end. Your star's a tight end. You know what I mean? That almost proves my point. Like, it's just like, damn. That's your best player, dog? That's your best player, dog?
Like they could literally get
You know
Gronk
who
and
I had a
not
lot
be
of
any
fun
better.
watching? I had a
Yeah.
lot. I don't want to see it shine chewy, but I had a lot of fun watching Dame this year, man.
Oh
He was
yeah.
on. He was just. He was on another level this year, man.
Who?
I don't know how Dame Dollar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nah, he's a beast.
I don't know how
He's a
long that
beast.
guy keep doing that, man. He was the best player in the league for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, a good
Yeah.
stretch. A good stretch.
Crazy on fire, crazy on fire. And doing it on
Yeah.
both. And he's always fun to watch, man. He always leaves it all on the court too. He's got a fun game. Well, so you're not watching a lot of Westbrook this year, or what?
Nah, he's fun. Those guards are fun. It's just watching guards is just totally different now. You know what I mean? Before watching a guard like that was just like, oh, like look at this flashy motherfucker. This shit is crazy. But you'd enjoy watching it, but it just was like, oh, it kind of annoyed you too. Well, at least it did to me. But now it's just like so fun. It's just almost like everything's an and one mixtape, but a
Did you guys
controlled one.
Did you guys get to see the draft? Y'all peep the draft?
A little bit.
Nah,
I mean, I was
I
in and out
didn't.
of it a
I
little
didn't
bit,
really
just
care.
just for the Raider picks, pretty much.
I didn't even
Yeah.
care for the Cowboy picks. I was like, man, who gives a shit? Like Jerry Jones is still alive. Oh, are we live?
Yeah, it was
Whoops! Like,
Pretty at all.
no, man, we're fucked. Until he's wrapped out or he decides to give legit control. Unfortunately, he's just like a rickety old man now that must have his way. So
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have to live with it, and you either just stay on as a fan or you don't, or you kick rocks. So you do what you got to do, but
Yeah.
you wait it out. If you're down with your squad, you wait it out. So we'll wait it out. We'll be back like in 2033. You know what I mean? Super Bowl, whatever that is, Super Bowl 78. We got this, baby.
All right, one last question. If
That was the last question.
no,
but
I got
okay,
one more.
we got-
Fuck it.
Oh,
I got one
shit.
more. Fuck it.
Last questions on last questions.
We got a little
Okay.
bit more time. We can push it
It's
a
a
little bit
controversial
longer.
podcast today.
But
See?
one last
Okay, a little bit
question
controversial, I like it.
is, who is your, if I guess it doesn't really matter either way if they come back or not. But who's your favorite? Not your favorite. Who do you think is the season MVP for Liverpool? Not just for the Premier League in general, but just who do you think is the most valuable player to Liverpool this year? Because last year was obviously Virgil, right? Like Are we in agreement that last year's MVP was definitely Virgil, right?
Yeah, 100 for
So
sure. He changed the whole dynamic of it, and not even the dynamic of just last season, but the last
right, I
previous
mean, he
seasons, because
changed the
defense was just a
course.
problem.
Well, he changed the
Exactly.
course of where Liverpool was headed, right? So
Yeah,
now
for
we're
sure, 100.
now we're going in a different direction. It's a different season.
Okay, can I answer it? I already have the answer. To me, it's Mane. It's that simple. It's that
Okay.
simple. It's just Sadio. Sadio. Sadio's a beast.
It's
He's a
fun
killer.
watching him and Salah trying to
I think right
battle
now,
for the best.
and of course this will always be biased, and I don't give a shit, but it's still my opinion. But I honestly think he's probably the best player in the world right now, and that's a world that's including, and that's the world that's including Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, I said it here, but I think he is the best player in the world. Watching him play is just like, this shit is incredible, bro. This shit is incredible, and he just goes unnoticed because my poor dude just has no personality. Unfortunately, he's just a quiet dude. No problem. You're still a beast. You're just a quiet dude. So he's not marketable. They can't sell him. But he's a monster. He's a monster in the dark. In the dark. No, to me that's my answer. I don't know if it could get more clear than that. Yeah.
I mean, I hope I'm not stealing your guy, man, but
No,
probably
go for
Trent,
it.
right? Like Trent's
Where's
been
the
that guy for
jersey?
me this year,
Where's
man.
the
I know I
jersey?
was looking for that jersey hanging up over there.
Damn, bro.
Where you at, son?
Damn,
Yo,
bro.
he's
Step
been-
your production value up,
He's
please.
the most consistent guy, man. And it's like, hasn't missed any time. Like, there you go.
Oh,
You got the
man.
long sleeve too. Look at you. Oh, that's
A
fresh.
long sleeve for them cold COVID nights.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah. That's
Western
fresh.
Union, you want to sponsor a little YouTube show?
Western Union, that woo woo.
Yeah, man. I don't know. He's been it for me, man. He's the numbers. The numbers are there. He's been consistent. He's again. It's another guy that's so fun to watch. He plays his position like just like guys that don't like that. Like players who don't play that kind of position. You know, I don't know. He plays kind of abnormal. He's the sleeper guy, right? He's making all the passes. He's playing like Gerard, but he's a freaking back. What is that? That's just crazy to me, dude. He's fun to watch. I love that guy. He's been my MVP.
Yeah. He's definitely next. He's the next superstar of the Premier League if he stays healthy, for sure. Which is crazy because you're right, because it's like he's going to be the first superstar back in a long time. In a long time.
Mane and Salah, Bobby, they do what they do. I think Trent makes a lot of that possible.
Yeah, but forwards will always get the love. You know that.
Well, they score the goals.
Yeah, for
They're the receivers, right?
Right.
They're the receivers. They're the darlings. Like, oh, you're cute. You know what I mean? Just catch the fucking ball. You know what I'm saying?
score. Kick the ball in there.
So
What you got for me, Nate?
I
Don't
think
drop
I
that
think
shit.
my pick, it's I don't know, it's a little interestingly different than both your guys' pick. I understand Chewy's pick because Mane has been pretty unreal, the last 2 years, especially this year, and Trent, I mean, corner taken quickly. Right? I mean, he's leading or second, I think, in assists, right?
And he's a
In
baby
the league,
still.
and
He's a baby.
he plays right back,
He's
so
a defender.
right. So like, yeah, I completely get your
awesome.
guys' picks, but my pick, and I think you guys think I'm gonna go with somebody
I
else,
think I know where you're going.
but
think I know what-
Shit. What is
my
this?
pick is actually the captain. I think
Yeah.
I think Hendo really showed who he is and how important he is to this team this season.
I
And
think
like
especially by not being there, right?
like that's where I was going with it eventually. Like the only game that they lost or whatever, right, was the game that he missed. So and then the game before that, I think he missed 2 games, right? One game he was out, they draw, and then the next game they lost, right? So I think he shows that just not only from a leadership standpoint, but especially since Klopp kind of changed how he lines them up, and he lets him get a little bit forward, lets him be a little bit more creative now. I think it's really opened up the offense a little bit too. You know, like there are times where you just think they're not going to score, and then all of a sudden, bam, it just comes in either from across from Trent or it gets fed inside. But a lot of that comes down to, if you watch a lot of the build up to a lot of those plays, like Hendo touches that ball and makes that first pass to the guy that gets the assist, you know, or to the guy, whatever, right? So I think Hendo's been very important. And even
I think defensively too, he covers up for a lot of guys.
he's a box to box guy. He does a
fills
lot.
holes. Yeah,
he holds all those personalities together too. He knows how to keep all those guys in check. You know what I mean?
And then I think, like, realistically, the entire team has played very well, and it's hard to pick one guy. That's why the three of us, I think, picked each a different guy, right? Because this team is, man, like, tremendously good all around.
Sometimes because of that, the MVP's just really Klopp. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
that's it.
Okay, I couldn't. I can't even be mad at
just
Popovich.
Yeah, I can't even be mad at that. You're right. You know, I mean, everybody has played very, very well. I miss watching them so much, to be honest.
Sure.
I really miss watching them. I have a lot of fun catching their, like, social media shit. That's a lot. Like, a lot of that shit has gone fucking very well for me. Like, in some of these days where you're just like, fuck. So, like, all the media is negative. All of the internet is being negative, right? Like, people try and drink bleach and shit, and then you got a video. You know what I mean?
What?
And then you got a video of fucking. I mean, yeah, you know, the president telling you to just shoot up bleach and shit. You know, just shoot it up. Just fucking.
What the
you know. But
nah, bro.
Shit like that going on.
That's why I'm disconnected, because I didn't even know about that. That's why I'm so shocked right now.
And then
and then
it's like at the same time, like, you're scrolling through Twitter, and then you get a video that's just full of just Nabilad. Like, everybody Nabilading it up.
Smile on my face, like seeing Muhammad Salah's smile. Like,
you know, or
that's like a Magic Johnson smile.
Like, Mo's rap video today. Like, what the fuck was that? Like,
that was pretty dope, though. Actually, that was pretty dope. I was like, what the hell? At first, I was like, what the fuck's going on?
So shit like that is like, you know, that shit really helps me out get through this.
Those guys really click together. That's reflected in the play this year. That's part of why they played so good, because all those guys get along and they click so well. And like, you've seen all those videos. They're all friends, man.
Right.
They're all singing to each other happy birthday in different languages from you know.
That's pretty cool too.
That was funny too. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
But not only that, but they're singing happy birthday to, like, a 16-year-old from the youth team. You know what I mean? It's not like they're singing happy birthday to Mo or Virgil or Klopp or whoever. Yeah. It's like they're singing to a 16-year-old on the youth team. Like, that's how much this team is like a family. Like, it's pretty crazy to see. Like, and if everything goes according to plan and everything opens back up, like, their new training facility is going to be just ridiculous, and the youth is going to be working out with the adults and shit. So all the training sessions are going to be, a lot of them are going to be synced up too. That's what they're saying. So it's supposed to be some crazy, massive complex. And
yeah, that's the advantage you get from European soccer. They got the academies, you know. They're not dependent on the NCAA, on some shit college system to feed them, funnel them talent, you know.
It's
funnel
true.
them bodies.
Yep.
They find these kids and, like, take care of them and teach them things, not just you know, fucking how to kick a ball.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I missed that too.
Well, that sounds like it was this.
Yeah, I mean, that was great. That was a great episode. We just cracked 2 hours. So yeah.
Oh, geez,
I guess we'll we'll just wrap it up here for YouTube. We'll probably continue this stream a little bit offline for a minute, but peace, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Uh, you know all the jazz. Hit that bell icon. You know, y'all know what to do.
Yeah.
Peace.
Good.